So in this video, I want to talk to you about managed payments and why it's a bad idea for you to wait until that payment clears. Also, I want to talk to you about motivation. I know that for some of you and for most of you, and even myself, that sometimes it's hard to get motivated. So I want to talk about that. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin Ain't Easy, and if you've never seen my videos before, I am a full-time reseller, and I make videos on YouTube to help other resellers succeed in this game called eBay. And we do other platforms as well, but mostly eBay. And so do me a favor before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified that we make some new content. Hey guys, I'm out here in my garage and I'm just going through the last part of that pallet, and it took me about a week to, after I get done with this today, this is going to be listed today, and it took about a week to go through the pallet, and I'd say more than half of that time was dedicated towards just the testing and evaluation process that I go through. That helps me avoid any kind of returns in that type of situation. Managed payments is not that big of a deal. Now, if you compare it to PayPal, yes, it sucks. Okay, let's just get that out in the open. I think I've said this many times. Okay, it sucks. The fact that you don't get your money right away and you want to use that money to flip, to buy more product, I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay, but again, Amazon makes you wait 2, 3, I think 3 weeks, the first payment. Mercari, Poshmark, you don't even get paid until that customer acknowledges that they've received the item and they're happy with it, okay? And then they rate you. So on those platforms, we're talking the customer buys the item, you're given a label, you take that item, you package it, you ship it. Could take 4 or 5 days for that item to arrive, and then that customer receives it. Maybe they don't give you a rating right away, and it takes them a day or two. So you could be potentially looking at a week before you get your money. I haven't seen anything like that with eBay. I've heard stories from some of you with managed payments that have still not received payments. Those are one-offs. I can tell you that most people aren't experiencing those problems. I can tell you if most people were experiencing those kind of problems, there'd be a lot of YouTubers like myself making videos talking about how bad managed payments are. I just haven't had that experience. And for those of you who are waiting until that money goes into your available balance, from your pending to your available balance to ship that item, I got to tell you that's a mistake. And the reason is this: there are going to be few occasions where your payment is going to take longer than 2 business days, sometimes 3, maybe 4 business days for it to hit your available balance. And the reason for that is that your customer is paying for that item, maybe with their credit card, maybe with their debit card, and it takes business days for that money to go from that customer's account into eBay's bank and processing, and then for eBay's processing to say, okay, this money is available, and they put it into your available balance. The problem with all this of waiting to ship your item is if you have, let's say, 1-day handling and you're waiting 3 or 4 days to wait for this money to go into your available balance, you're going to notice that your late shipment rate is going to go up. And if you have a late shipment rate higher than 3%, that's 3 items late for every 100 you ship. Then what's going to happen is you're going to lose your top rated seller status. And if you're trying to get top rated seller status, that's going to make that impossible. And what's the big deal about top rated seller status? Well, there's perks like the refund tool without offering 30-day free returns, just offering the 30-day returns where the buyer pays. You get discounts on your eBay labels simply for just having the top rated status. So those aren't the only perks that make this sort of an important issue. I just want you guys to know that waiting, 3, 4, maybe 5 days until that money gets into your account is going to wreak a lot of havoc on your account. Customers are going to be upset. Your listing may say the expected date is this date, and they don't get it for 3, 4 days beyond that. Some customers might be understanding of that, but others will not be, especially if they see that the tracking information shows that the label was printed days after they paid. You'll have to explain to the customer why it took you so long to ship that item. But ultimately, I can tell you this. I have at least, and this is just a guess, at least 5,000 transactions using the managed payment system. And I have never had an issue where I've shipped the item and eBay just said, well, we're not paying you for it. We're not going to put this money into your available balance. I have had a couple instances, I think 2 instances in all those transactions, where later on down the line, a customer goes to their bank and claims to their bank that they don't recognize the transaction. And in both cases, I ended up winning the case. Okay, so that wasn't an issue. And in both cases, the money was never frozen in my account, sort of pending like a return case does or any kind of case does. They just send you a message stating that the buyer opened something up with their credit card company. They may ask you for some information if necessary, but during that time, in those cases, those external chargeback cases, in my experience, the 2 different times that money was not withheld from my account, which surprised me. I was expecting that, and that did not happen. So guys, if you want to succeed in this on the eBay game, in the eBay side of things, you have to play by their rules. You cannot create your own rules when it comes to this. I mean, certainly you can pack your bags and leave the platform, and some of you have, and I hope you guys reconsider doing that, because I still think eBay is a good place to sell. But I have to tell you that if you try to play with your own rules when it comes to eBay, it will hurt your account and it will hurt your success. You will notice a decline in sales, maybe an increase in negative feedbacks, and just more headaches than it's worth. And I got to tell you, I'm very honest with you all. I tell you how it is, and I know some of you may not appreciate what I'm saying, but what I am saying is this, is that if there was something wrong with managed payments on that end where you are not getting paid properly, or there's problems after you ship the package, if I found out from other sellers or my own situation, you would be the first to know about it on this channel. I would make a dedicated video just on that topic, but it's not happened with me. It may have happened one off here, one off there. There's millions of eBay resellers out there, so things can happen, but I'm telling you, for the most part, it just doesn't happen. So make up your mind how you want to do it, but play the game by the rules if you want to succeed. I mean, we talk about all these different things you can do to optimize your sales, things you can do to be more efficient. But if you are doing all those things, but yet you're waiting to ship your package, you're sort of negating all that. So please do yourself a favor and be mindful of that. Now, I want to give a shout out to my friend out there, Archie. He reached out to me a couple days ago, and he just wanted to talk about motivation and wanted to ask me what motivates me. And I got to tell you, there's many times I get up in the morning, I'm just not feeling it. But it's the same feeling that I had when I had a 9-to-5 job. Now, I'm not obligated in the same way, meaning that my 9-to-5, whether I was an employee or when I was in management, actually management was worse because you're held to a higher standard. But whether I was an employee or whether I was in management, I was still expected to be at that job at a certain time. Right now, I can decide, you know what, I'm not feeling it. I'm just going to chill out in the morning, maybe go do something and come back and work in the evening, work in the afternoon. You don't have that leeway in a regular 9-to-5 job. At least most people don't. So that motivates me right there. The fact that I can be flexible when I'm not feeling it. And I also know that if I decide to just take a week off, it's going to hurt my bottom line. This is what I do for a living right now. You know, I do make YouTube videos. I got to tell you, YouTube doesn't pay very much money at all. And that's not my motivation at all when making these videos. And if you've ever watched any of my videos before, my motivation is I worked that career for 26 years. And my main role was to help train. I traveled to train people. I came up with training curriculum. I was in a capacity where people turned to me for help when they needed the help. And I don't have that anymore. And that's sort of a void that's not part of my life anymore. And YouTube helps me fulfill that. I can help people. And whether it's just a couple of you guys out there that I'm helping, for me, that's what it's about. And it kind of fills that void. And, you know, we take the money. I just bought a new lighting setup. Hopefully it's not too bright. And these things cost money, but you know, I'm not worried about that. If I'm getting a return from YouTube, I can put it back into the channel. The whole idea is to make the videos more presentable, maybe more credible. More people will come in and watch the videos, and I can help as many people as I can. And that's the whole point of these videos. But back to what I was telling you about Archie. Archie, great guy. He also lives in my area, and he's offered to meet me for lunch sometime. I'm probably going to take you up on it at some point. I just keep myself very busy, but you know, he lost a little bit of motivation, and I'm glad he was able to reach out to me. I sort of kind of gave him some things that keep me motivated, such as, you know, looking at my summary when I log into eBay, looking at my summary, you know, I can see, wow, I'm not doing so hot. I need to step it up. Or wow, lately I've been doing really well. Well, if I don't keep the effort, I'm not going to do as well. So everyone has their own motivation. All you have to do is look around and see the things that sometimes we take for granted. The roof over our head, the lights that come on when we hit that switch. Without these extra funds, some of you all may not even be able to take that vacation you want to take. These are all motivations, and I hope that this gives you something to think about, because there's a reason why we do this. And you know, looking behind me, I've got these packages here. There's nothing fun about going through someone's returned items. Now, these are like all the one-off items, or the not the home run items from the pallet. I listed all of those first, and now I'm digging into the final, you know, 70 items here, and a lot of them are replenishables. But to have to go through those $20, $30, $40, $50 items is not motivating. And the prospect of being out here working, and you know, instead of doing something else, or I'd rather be listing than to do this, to be honest with you. But it's part of the job, and we have to stay motivated, and we have to look at the things sometimes we take for granted to get out here and do stuff like this. For some of you, it could be just simply sourcing that's a problem. I know for my wife, she doesn't like the listing part of it. She would rather be taking the photos. She'd rather be sourcing. She'd rather be doing the shipping. And some of you don't like the shipping, than to do the listing. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different things that you do when you're an eBay reseller. And there's very few people I know that like the whole package. There's usually one or two things that we dread or just don't like to do, and that can hurt your motivation as well. So stay motivated. The whole purpose of this message is to encourage you to just power through it. Whatever it is that you don't like about this business, take a look at your bank account. Take a look at your surroundings, what you have or what you want. Maybe you want to make a little bit more money because you need it for whatever, take a look at that and let that be your focus. And if you do that, I promise you, you're going to have a little bit different outlook, and you're going to be able to get through some of these things that may seem to be a big deal. But unless you're cleaning earwax out of AirPods, which I've done before, and trust me, that's not fun. But I knew that I was able to resell those as refurbished units for over $100 a pop. This is back in 2019. That was motivation. And as gross as that was, I had some of my best months selling on eBay because of those very items. So guys, what do you think about this video? Please do me a favor, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I think out of all of you right now that are watching this video, only about 20%, maybe 25% actually hit that subscribe button. And you know, if you think this content's any good, I'd like to think that it does have some value to someone out there. If this content has some value to you, please hit that subscribe button so that I'm on your list if you're ever looking for YouTube content. And if you have subscribed and you really like this content, maybe there is some value for you in it, hit that notification bell icon. That way you're notified the next time that I make a video. So guys, get out there, do these things right here, keep making those sales, and know one thing, that flipping ain't easy. And we will talk to you here in a couple days, and have a great start of your week.